Hello everyone, it's me, Karen, delivering this week's reflection. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of February. Today might ring a bell to some of you as being a significant day. Yes, it's Ash Wednesday and it's the start of Lent, but that's not what I'm thinking about. So I will say Happy Founders Day to any of you who have been in the past or who are still members of the Scouts Association, and Happy Thinking Day to any of you who have been or are still members of Girl Guiding. I was in the Guide Association for 27 years, and in that time I was a leader and I led groups, guide groups in Forfar and in Kingsmuir and also down in East Lothian. And so today is quite a special day for anyone who's been in the Guides or the Scouts, when we remember the founders of the Scouts and the Guides, the World Chief Scout and Chief Guide, Lord and Lady Baden-Powell. This day marks both of their birthdays, and I've always found it an amazing coincidence that these two shared a birthday, making it a perfect choice for the Remembrance Day. I've never heard of another husband and wife who have exactly the same birthday. So today, in honour of Founders Day and Thinking Day, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Scouts and the Guides, and in particular, the founder of these organisations, Robert Baden-Powell, or to give him his full title, Lord Robert Stevenson Smythe Baden-Powell. Wow, what a mouthful. He led this organisation from back in 1908, and today his legacy leaves Scout associations in 170 countries across the world. There are more than 50 million Scouts across the world and over 500,000 of them in the UK, of which about 360,000 young people and the rest being adults. And that's not including the Guides. He was a very famous and popular figure in his day, but I have since read at times controversial. And so many biographers have taken up writing about his life. On doing a little Google research, I found that he has 5 autobiographies or biographies written in English, as well as other biographies written in Dutch, French, and German. Such was the impact of his life and work across the world. He even had 10 separate nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1928. So who was this man that's left such a legacy? Baden-Powell was the son of the Reverend Baden-Powell, Professor of Geometry at Oxford University and an Anglican priest, along with his third wife, Henrietta Grace Smythe. Baden-Powell's father died when he was only 3 years old, and his mother was left to raise him and his siblings alone. The family were relatively well off, but he had quite a challenging childhood. During his time at school, he developed a love of the outdoors, and he was a keen sailor and adventurer, some things which he would carry through with him into the Scouts. His love of the outdoors led him to join the army when he left school, and he had a very, very successful career in the army, raising through the ranks to Lieutenant General, and he was decorated for his leadership during the Boer War, of which he played a big part. During his time in the army, he specialised in woodcraft and scouting, which means exploring for clues, and map making as well. He was also given the task of training the new young soldiers. When he got back to the UK, he discovered a small book that he had written for the soldiers on scouting was being used by young boys, youth leaders, and teachers. It was on this basis that he founded the Scouts. He held an activity camp for 22 young boys from deprived and underprivileged backgrounds on an island off the Dorset coast, Brownsea Island. This happened in 1908. And then he published his second book, Scouting for Boys, which became the Scout Handbook. Baden-Powell also based his organisation on his strong Christian values and of doing good to others. Being the son of an Anglican priest, his faith was very important to him, and the pledge to love God is still in the Scout promise today. The Scouts became hugely popular, and by 1910, there were many girls trying to join the organisation, some of them in disguise at Scout camp, dressed as boys. So in 1910, he retired from the army and to concentrate on his scouting. And he set up a parallel organisation for girls, the Girl Guide Association, along with his sister, Agnes Baden-Powell. Baden-Powell later gave his new wife, Lady Olive, who was almost 30 years his junior, the honour of becoming the World Chief Guide. This was a role which she dedicated her whole life to. Robert Baden-Powell remained World Chief Scout until his death in 1944 at the age of 83. So I'd like to read you a little excerpt from his final letter to the Scouts, which reflects his thoughts and his values. I have had a most happy life, and I want each one of you to have a happy life too. I believe that God put us in this jolly world to be happy and enjoy life. Happiness does not come from being rich, nor being successful in your career, nor by self-indulgence. One step towards happiness is to make yourself healthy and strong while you're a boy, so that you can be useful and enjoy life when you're a man. Nature study will show you how full of beautiful and wonderful things God has made this world for you to enjoy. Be contented with what you have and make the best of it. Look on the bright side of things instead of the gloomy one. But the real way to get happiness is by giving out happiness to other people. Try and leave this world a little better than you found it. And when your turn comes to die, you can die happy in feeling that at any rate, you have not wasted your time and you've done your best. Be prepared in this way to live happy and die happy. Stick to your Scout promise always, even after you have ceased to be a boy, and God help you to do it. I found these words really quite inspiring. Happiness does not come from riches or self-indulgence, but through good health and being useful and kind to others, appreciating what you've got and God's beautiful world and making the best of it. Always trying your best, being prepared and doing good unto others, and always trusting in God. Pretty good advice, don't you think? So today, on the first day of Lent, rather than giving something up, think about what you can do in God's name to help others. Is there something you can pledge to do over this time of Lent and live out Baden-Powell's instructions? I'm going to pledge to give something every day of Lent, whether I give to charity, I donate to a food bank, I buy someone a gift, buy them a coffee, or donate to the charity shop. I'm going to give something every day of Lent. All the best for the week ahead.